What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Very quick post-fight video, and there's not much to recap. Kell Brook beat the dog shit out of Jojo Dan. Now, as a boxing fan, I respect anybody who laces him up, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. This fight played out exactly how I expected. I did not do a prediction video pretty much for this reason, because it really wasn't, there was nothing objective that I felt I really needed to weigh out to the point where it would trump the other projects I was working on to make a Kell Brook Jojo Dan video. It's not a fight that I was really looking forward to, and luckily Showtime, this is not the only fights they're airing tonight. They also have a double feature with Johnny Gonzalez and also Gary Russell Jr., Jermell Charlo versus Vanes Monterosen. So this was just kind of something extra that they picked up. And like I said, the fight played out exactly how I expected. What this was, Kell Brook got stabbed with a machete in the leg, and doctor said he may not even walk because did some severe damage to his leg when he was vacationing and after he beat Sean Porter. A lot of you guys, I covered it, and a lot of people read the news clips and stuff. This was, to me, a tune-up fight / mandatory. By taking this fight, Kell Brook could do two things at once. He can kill two birds with one stone. One, test out his leg after a gruesome injury, and to see how mobile he was, if he had any problems, shake off the cobwebs of dealing with an injury, post-injury, that kind of thing. And then two, he could execute his mandatory and get that monkey off his back and have a title defense. And that's really what it was. And he did that, and he successfully did it, and he did it in a dominant fashion. Again, not much to break down. He beat the shit out of Jojo Dan, which is to be expected. Jojo Dan, he showed heart, but there's levels to this, and he's just not at that elite level. This is a champion we're talking about, and Jojo Dan, I mean, like I said, I give him credit for heart, but there's nothing he's ever showed me that stipulated that he would be able to beat an elite level, top 10, top 5 welterweight, especially a champion. So it's really, again, this is good. This is a feel-good fight for Kell Brook, but I don't really move him up the welterweight ladder. This was just kind of going through the motions type of fight for me, because I know for a fact that is not going to be the same type of opponent once he faces the better names in the division. Amir Khan, whether you think Kell Brook beats Khan or not, I really strongly don't believe Kell Brook would fight him just like that, and it would just be easy the whole way through just like that. If he fought a guy like Marquez, if he fought Keith Thurman, it's not going to be, these are all different fights. These are guys who are a lot more decorated, a lot more proven. They know what to do. You look at this fight with Jojo Dan, and I mean, he got hurt early and did nothing to prevent continual abuse and continual punishment. He just looked sloppy, like he was hurt, and he was frantic. He it's different, man. Like I said, there's levels to this. Like, watch when Floyd Mayweather has been hurt in fights, like the Mosley fight. He clinched, then he proceeds to walk Mosley down, put some punches together, stand his ground. You watch Pacquiao when he got hurt versus Marquez in the fourth fight. He got dropped, knocked down to the canvas. What happened? He got back up, started banging his gloves together, knocked Marquez down, busted his nose all to shit, and he was arguably like beating the shit out of Marquez up until the stoppage. See, these are elite level fighters. These are the guys, they know what to do. They've been there before. They know what to do. Jojo Dan, he just didn't have the experience or the skill set, the technical ability to know what to do when he was hurt. He just kept getting that chocolate right hand brownie repeatedly. He should establish a jab, maybe go to the body, circle a little bit more. I don't know, anything that he could do, clinch when necessary. He just looked like he was falling in and frantic. He looked like he was merely trying to survive. I don't know if you ever seen a movie where like a character gets shot and they're like, oh, like flailing all over the place and like falling on somebody. That's pretty much how Jojo Dan looked. So I'm not trying to discredit him. He showed heart, but I want to see Kell Brook in there with an Amir Khan, a Keith Thurman, Mayweather Pacquiao winner even, for unification. These are all good fights. Kell Brook, I told people for the longest, he's the truth. I like what he brings to the table. Again, I can't really rate him much higher for handling business. He was dominant. He shook off the cobwebs post-injury, and I'm looking forward to what's next. I'm definitely going to tune into his next fight. Very dominant. He knocked Jojo down 4 times, I believe it was, and the corner waved it off. He got clipped right before that. I mean, the corner waved it off in between rounds. If they didn't, Jojo Dan was probably going to get knocked out anyway. You know what I mean? Because he got clipped at the end of the bell, I think the 4th round, and he was in bad shape. I think really when he got hurt the first time, he never really recovered at all. And his legs were gone, and he didn't have the survival skills to know what to do. So it was just a mess for Jojo Dan, to be expected. At the end, what I did like is Kell Brook was just talking about how basically how he's a warrior. The doctor said he couldn't walk, and he's back boxing, defending me title and stuff like that. And then Eddie Hearn was in the ring also, and basically the two of them called out Amir Khan. They said Khan needs an opponent, give the fans what they want, and that's a great fight. That's the fight that does need to happen. Adrian Broner versus Khan is, I like it. You know what I mean? As a boxing fan, I like it. A more meaningful fight is Kell Brook. I mean, Amir Khan is looking to really make a name at welterweight. So a fight with Broner, again, I'm not against it. But if you really break it down, it doesn't make as much sense. Because Broner went up to welterweight. He had a controversial win over Paulie Malignaggi, which some people thought Malignaggi beat him. I didn't. I thought Broner edged it out in the middle to late rounds. But either way, it was controversial, and he won split decision, got the title off Paulie Malignaggi. His first defense, he got the shit beat out of him by Maidana. Then he dropped back down to 140, and he's had some, you know what I mean, okay, decent performances. So if Amir Khan were to fight Broner, again, from a fan's perspective, I don't have a problem because they're both talkers, and I think it's an entertaining build-up, and, you know what I mean, it'd be interesting. But it doesn't really even make as much sense as a Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a champion. So Amir Khan wants to prove that he's worthy of a Mayweather shot, of a Pacquiao shot, of the winner of that fight. So become a champion. Beat Kell Brook, an undefeated fighter. Broner's no longer undefeated, nor has he had his last couple of fights at 47. So again, I'm not bashing Broner Khan, but it doesn't make as much sense as an undefeated champion, IBF champion. It's not like he has a weak belt. He has a certifiable belt, not an alphabet belt, and he's a champion. He's undefeated. So, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. And then you look at the business, and that makes all the sense in the world. They're both from the UK. You can do it for bragging rights. It'll make a lot of domestic money. It just makes sense all the way around. They've had history. They sparred together. Bad Blood on Sky Sports. Makes all the sense in the world. So that's the fight. I think the number one fight Khan should be gunning for. He's been called out. Let's see what he does. Let's see what Team Khan decides to do. And let me know what you think of Kell Brook's dominant performance. Like I said, he beat the mandatory shit out of Jojo Dan and took care of his mandatory easy work. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see next from Kell Brook. Who do you want to see him in there with? Do you want to see a Khan fight? Will Khan take the fight? Drop me a comment. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.